How to shop like a French. 6 rules to do it like a local. Have you ever walked into a French shop and felt frustrated at the lack of attention from the staff? Shopping in France is a cultural experience. It has its own set of unspoken rules and secret codes that I will reveal to you now. Did you know that shopping etiquette in France is no different for tourists than it is for locals? If you do as we do, you'll be fine. Bonjour, I'm Giga from the blog Expat in France. I am a French little expat and you will find here information to adjust to your French life with tips on French admin and French culture. Now, if you're planning to move to France and don't know where to start, I have prepared a checklist for you. You can download it via the link in the description below. So let's start. Rule number 1. Always say bonjour in French. This is the ground rule when interacting with anyone in France. So this also applies when entering a shop. Saying bonjour, hello, will put you on track for a smoother experience. I've actually done an entire video on how not to piss off a French person. You will find it up there. Of course, if you're entering a big department store or supermarket and there is no sales assistant nearby, you don't have to say this, obviously. But if there is, or if it is a small shop, you are expected to say bonjour in French as a sign of respect, but also to let them know that you have entered. If you don't, whatever the reason, you will certainly be ignored or even brought to task with a firm bonjour from the sales assistant. Applying this basic rule of French etiquette will ensure that you have a better service, but you should also know that the customer is not king in France. This means that however polite you are, you may still run into sales staff who seem to care about everything but you. Then rule number 2. These 2 sentences will save your shopping experience in France. A salesperson in France may approach you more quickly than you are used to. They are not necessarily being pushy, they mostly want to be helpful. Customers in France often have a specific idea of what they want, and by approaching you immediately, a salesperson is providing you with what they see as a good service. These phrases will help you when that happens. Merci, je veux juste regarder. Merci, je veux juste regarder. Thank you, I'm just looking. Or a simple je regarde, merci. Or oui, je cherche something, s'il vous plaît. Yes, I'm looking for something, please. Then rule number 3. Ask for permission in small boutiques. In a clothing shop, especially the small boutiques, it is recommended to ask for permission before going to the cloakroom. Now, if you ask the sales assistant for feedback, many will tell you if the piece of clothing you are trying on suits you or not. This is not considered rude to say that a piece of clothing doesn't suit someone. On the contrary, they are not pushing the sale, and if they are being a good sales assistant, they will recommend alternatives that will fit you better. Rule number 4. Check the opening hours before you go. Don't think that you can rush out on a Sunday and pick up the shopping that you neglected all week. You will be surprised. Shop opening hours and working hours in France are highly regulated by law. Besides touristic areas that will, of course, include Paris and the French Riviera and some other places, a shop cannot open before 6 a.m. and stay open past 10 p.m. from Monday to Saturday. And most shops open at 9 or 10 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. and in big cities, they may extend to 9 p.m. After that, it is considered night work that goes with extra pay, of course. So shops are very careful not to extend later. And then there is the issue of the Sunday shopping hours, which is often a culture shock for many foreigners and tourists coming to France. Most shops in France are closed on Sunday, and even sometimes on Mondays to give employees 2 consecutive days off. This is a heritage from the Catholic religion and it is also integrated into French labor law. Sundays are considered family days, and people tend to stay home or go out with friends. This is all about quality time, and shopping is not considered as quality time in France. If people want to go shopping on the Sunday, they will go to the Sunday morning markets to buy fresh groceries for their Sunday traditional family meal. That said, there is some liberalization going on, and grocery shopping opening hours is now adapting to the busy urban lifestyle. Some shops and grocery stores are allowed to open until 1 p.m. on Sundays or holidays. Just don't expect anyone to be overly friendly, because even if they are paid more for Sunday work, it is considered an imposition that eats into free time and family time. There is no doubt that the French do value their personal life, and having a 24-hour access to everything goes certainly against the quality of life for all in the French mind. Also, shops located in 12 Parisian designated tourist neighborhoods like the Champs-Élysées or the Latin Quarter are now allowed to stay open all day on Sunday. Also, some major department stores in big cities like Galeries Lafayette, one of the most famous shops in France, reached an agreement with their union, and many of their stores, but not all, are now open on Sundays. And a final note on opening time in France. Don't plan to run your errands around lunchtime, because boutiques and French grocery stores often close for an hour or two between noon and 2 p.m. for the staff lunch break. So check first, so you see that in France, quality of life prevails over business. Rule number 5. Don't miss out on the sales. A great time to do shopping in France is during the sales. Sales too are regulated by law in France, and there are two main sales periods. First, the winter sales, which usually start on the second Wednesdays of January and last for 4 weeks, and the summer sales, which begin on the last Wednesday of June and last for 4 weeks as well. Here is how the French approach sales. We go to the shops to find things that we like before the sales start. Once the sales arrive, we know exactly what we want and how much of a discount we are really getting. The best deals are usually found in the first week or even the first few days. Good deals go fast. Then rule number 6. Check the return policy before you purchase. If you have made a purchase mistake when shopping in France, you may want to return or exchange it the way you would at home. Well, this may not happen. Small shops rarely accept returns, although you may be able to exchange certain things if they are in impeccable state, still wrapped and obviously unused. If you bought something during the sales, there is every chance that it is yours forever. Depending on the shops, you may have up to 14 days to return the merchandise if the item hasn't been used or opened and still has its tag. So it is always better to confirm the return policy when making your purchase to avoid bad surprises. I hope this video helped you to have the best shopping experience in France. Like, subscribe and share if you learned something new, and if you plan to no longer be a tourist in France and you want the real deal, you can download my Move to France checklist from the link in the description below. Merci et à bientôt!